It's a Friday, obviously. And in an Inception kind of moment, I'm going to tell you something. I just shot a video about music in the workplace. And at the end of the video, I mentioned I really like NWA. And I bought their album Straight Outta Compton when it first came out. It came out while I was in law school. And I might not leave that reference in the video because my mainstream audience, if any of them actually go and listen to NWA for the first time based on my recommendation, I might lose a lot of viewers, but we'll see. By the way, I recently crossed 400,000 subscribers, which is pretty cool. I got to mention it. I don't know if I've mentioned it here or not. But a few things that popped up over the week. First of all, I got to let you know that I got my hair cut, and I'm mentioning that now because, and nobody commented. I'm kind of surprised. I went a really long time without getting my hair cut. And the reason is there's a woman who cuts my hair named Gracie, and Gracie cuts my hair. And she told me a while back that she goes, Steve, I got to go to the hospital and have an operation. And so I'm going to be laid up for a little while. Won't be able to cut your hair. I said, okay, I'll wait. And she said, well, it might be a while. I said, I'll wait. And she said, it might be a long while, much longer than you normally go without a haircut. I said, I'll wait. You see, I'm one of these people, when I find somebody who cuts my hair and I like it, I'll go to the ends of the earth for them to cut my hair. It's just one of those things. So what happened was, about a month before I got my haircut, she sent me a note and said, Steve, I'm back, can schedule haircuts. I said, great, scheduled it. She called me the day before and she goes, I'm really sorry, can't cut your hair. I said, that's okay, I'll wait. She said, well, here are some people you can go to, and she starts telling me other people. No, I'll wait. And she said, well, how long has it been? She goes, have you gotten it cut? I go, no, I told you I'd wait, I'm waiting. So she finally called me up and she said, Steve, I'm good to go. I can fit you in very soon. I said, earliest one you got, boom. I walked in, she's like, wow, you did wait. But, so, the haircut. I'll show you before and after pictures as we're talking. I did the story where I talked about witches and them being exonerated all these years later. And I used the word spinster. And I used the word spinster because it was in the article. And I said a spinster is generally an unmarried woman, often an older woman, beyond the usual age for marriage. And I got that definition from a dictionary. And I said there's probably a variety of definitions for it, but that's the general connotation of it. And despite the fact I did that video like a week and a half ago, I'm still getting hate mail from people who are going, Steve, you need to look that up. I did. Unless look something up means something different to you, look it up means check a dictionary, right? I got walls of dictionaries here, my friends. A spinster is an unmarried woman, typically an older woman, beyond the usual age for marriage. I had people go, Steve, in England it means this. In France, I had a guy yesterday go, Steve, in South Africa, you don't understand what it means. I don't care what it means in South Africa. The story wasn't in South Africa. The story was in America. It was pre-USA, but it was in what became America, right? And by the way, that's a trigger. Some people go, Steve, this isn't America, it's the United States of America. So I thought to myself, well, maybe there are some other definitions. A single woman who is old enough to be married but isn't, and isn't likely to get married, is sometimes called a spinster. So it always contains the unmarried and older and something about being beyond the age for marriage or is unlikely to get married or the odds are against her. But I used the word perfectly correctly. It's funny to me because I'm learning now what some of these triggers are that cause people to freak out. So I did the video yesterday about the guy whose car was towed because his side mirror was not on his car when it was parked in the street. And I actually reshot that video. And I'm embarrassed to admit this because I referred to that mirror as a rear view mirror. And a lot of people go, Steve, the rear view mirror is one up here. Well, your car often has 3 rear view mirrors. It's got the one inside and it's got the 2 side rear view mirrors. And so if I call this a rear view mirror, people will freak out and go, that's a side view mirror. Well, but it's not a view of the side. It's a view of the rear. And what's funny is I had this exact same argument a long time ago. I'm not sure if I've ever rerun this particular video, but there's a thing in your car that acts as an emergency brake. And so some people shorten that to e-brake for an emergency brake. And the e-brake can be hand operated or foot operated. And so I've talked before about the e-brakes, and I had people go, Steve, you mean the handbrake. You mean the handbrake. By the way, if you start a sentence with a you mean, 99% of the time you're wrong. It's almost like saying, no offense intended, but. Okay. No offense intended, but those jeans do make your butt look fat. No offense intended. Okay, so if it's a handbrake, what about the one that was on my 69 Dodge Charger that was down by the floor? It's not a handbrake. It's a foot brake. But the other brake's a foot brake. How do we distinguish these things? Is it used in an emergency when your other brakes fail? Yes. Is it used as a parking brake, which, by the way, is another potential correct use, is another potential correct name? But it's not a hand brake if you operate with your foot. And what's funny is I've actually had people who seriously will paint themselves in a corner and go, it's a hand brake. And I go, what about the one you operate with your foot? It's still a hand brake. So we call the one operated by our foot a handbrake. Yes. I know some people who will make a misstatement and instead of saying I misspoke, start defending it. And I've heard some really stupid ones. I have to mention again, I should probably put this up on my main channel, but I hate to put these kind of announcements on my main channel. People send me videos, links to videos. Steve, watch this video. No, I don't watch videos. And I've said I don't watch videos from links that people email to me. And I had one guy go, fine, I'll text it to you. What's your number? I go, no, I don't watch videos from links that people send to me in any way, shape, or form. Well, then how do I get you to watch this? Why do I have to watch it? And now I'm not trying to be a jerk here. I literally get dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of emailed video links. Watch this. And I go, no thanks, I don't watch video links. Why not? I haven't got time to watch them all. Well, watch mine. No. Well, watch this one I found on YouTube. No. Guy sent me one yesterday. I'm not making this up. It was over an hour long. He goes, Steve, watch this video. I go, I don't watch videos from links. Why not? I haven't got time. If I watched them all, that's all I'd be doing. And I've had people say, but Steve, you need to make a video about this video. Have you ever seen a video on this channel about another video? It's actually not something I do. I know it's a big thing on YouTube. I know a lot of people on YouTube will do a response video and say, hey, this guy made this video. And sometimes they'll even incorporate it into their video. I don't do that. The only videos I show clips of are videos I shot myself, or the rare occasion where I'm in the video, such as when I was on the BBC and I got a copy of that video and I put a little clip of it in a video where I mentioned how I got to be on the BBC, which, by the way, got me more hate mail than anything else. Look at this guy. He thinks he's so important. He's trying to show us all that he was on the BBC. I had people also tell me that they liked seeing that. They thought it was funny. But anyways, while we're on the topic of things that people email to me, I cannot handle cases in other states. I get emails every single day, and quite often 20, 30 a day from people in other states. And people say, Steve, I got a problem. Can you help me? And they say, I'm in Arkansas. I'm in Alaska. I'm in Idaho. And I say, legally, I can't. No, I'm only licensed in Michigan. They go, oh, well, I saw you on YouTube talking about something. Yeah, on YouTube, I'm not dispensing legal advice. In fact, there's a disclaimer at the end of the video that says this is not legal advice. And so I am licensed to practice law in Michigan, so I can only practice law here. So I cannot help you in other states. So if you send me an email saying, Steve, can you help me with my legal problem in Nevada? I write you back and say, no, I'm only licensed in Michigan. Sorry. But the other one is I also get tons of requests from people with the strangest legal problems. And I've said more than once that I specialize in lemon law. It's literally all I do, lemon law. And so I have gotten emails from people who say things like, Steve, I've got a problem with the Department of Revenue in Oregon, and I'm convinced that they're out to get me. Can you help me with that? No, I can't. Number one, it's not in Michigan. Number two, it's not a lemon law claim. And by the way, if you said, Steve, I can wave a magic wand and you're suddenly in Oregon, all your expenses are paid, and we get you admitted, what they call pro hoc vice, where somebody's going to sponsor you, and you can practice in Oregon then, do you want to help me? I'd say, no, I don't know anything about that. Huh? If it's not a lemon law claim, which is my specialty, go find someone like me, but who specializes in that. That makes more sense. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate the fact that people think of me. They go, oh, I got a legal problem, I'll call Steve. I can't help you if you're not in Michigan, it's not a lemon law claim. That's just how it is. I also had, and this is surprising to me, I told the story again about the guy with the clip-on mirror on his car, and I said that his car got towed by the police. And I got a couple very, very angry emails from people who go, Steve, that wasn't the police, that was parking enforcement. Well, interestingly, the title of my video is The City of LA. It's the city. And now I will admit that the parking enforcement people might not have had the words police on their uniforms anywhere. Although I'd be surprised if they didn't have something that looked official. But the police is actually a term to describe law enforcement. Okay? Now, there are some terms we tend to use in America. So if it's the federal police, we'll often refer to them as the feds or the FBI, or perhaps federal marshals. It's marshals, I guess. But when you talk about police actions, the actions of the police, there is no legal distinction between a parking enforcement officer and a police officer in that they're both enforcing the laws on the streets. And yes, in a city like Los Angeles, they may have delegated that authority to some department called parking enforcement. But in essence, it's the same thing as the police. But that doesn't really make a difference. The point is that the city, which is in the title of the video, the city had this car impounded. And when it got impounded, the guy whose car was impounded, he didn't see it get impounded. So he doesn't know whether it was parking enforcement or the police or what. But that's a distinction I really don't think is that important, especially not to get that bent out of shape. And then finally, I got to tell you another thing. And people will often accuse me of saying things I never said. And when I say, by the way, I never said that, they go, well, you implied it. Okay, well, you should have started your sentence by saying, Steve, I think you implied something, rather than saying you said this. Because I've had people say, Steve, you said this. I had a guy send me an email today and go, Steve, I forgot what video it's in, but you said that you're looking forward to the day when all cars are self-driving because there won't be any traffic on the road. And he goes, I think you're wrong. No, I think you're wrong. I never said that. I'm looking forward to the day where all cars are self-driving because there won't be any traffic. The traffic will be made up of self-driving cars. But where did I say that? Unless I was joking. And a joke that strange, I'd probably remember. I said to the guy, I go, where did I say that? I'm curious, where did I say that? And he didn't write back. And so I think he just got the wrong person. And so I understand that you might be cheating on me by watching videos by other people. But if you're going to say, Steve, you're wrong, you said this, you should at least be able to tell me which video I said it in. But the problem is I've had people say, Steve, in this video, you said this. I watched the entire video. And I go, no, I didn't. They go, oh, sorry, wrong video. So it's quite possible that not only do I not watch videos of other people you send links to me of, if you send me a link to my own videos, I might not watch it because I'm sick of people sending me on wild goose chases when there's nothing there. But getting to the thing I started talking about here is I mentioned a while back that we had a couple surprising 9-0 decisions by the Supreme Court. And we had another one, by the way, with a trademark case involving the squeaky toys. I'm going to take it off my desk. That's too tempting. So I had a guy write to me this impassioned email about, Steve, You said the other day that 9-0 decisions never happen, and they happen all the time. And your misstatement about how rare they are really is misleading. And he starts attaching like law review articles and statistics and graphs and all these attachments about how wrong I am when I said that 9-0 decisions of the Supreme Court never happen. I never said they didn't happen. I said they're unusual. But what I meant more specifically is that they're unusual on the cases that most people get really bent out of shape about. And so the funny thing is, I decided to look it up, and I typed in 9-0 Supreme Court. The first thing that popped up was how rare those decisions are becoming compared to the past. They're becoming rarer. However, they do happen, but they don't happen on the cases that the people get the most excited about. So if I had to guess, and I forgot what the exact number was, but if we go back and look at the case that overturned Roe versus Wade, I suspect that was not a 9-0. I suspect it wasn't a 9-0. Now, how do I know that? And so I wrote the guy back and I said, I never said they're impossible, they don't happen. He goes, well, you implied it. I go, how did I imply it? What did I say? And that's when they stopped talking to me. And if you want to have a discussion with somebody and you say something to them, provocative, such as you said you're looking forward to when the world is all self-driving cars because it'll solve the traffic problems in congested cities. And I say, I never said that. Where did I say that? You're supposed to respond. And if you don't respond, I look at it and go, okay, I wasted my time. Why did I even respond to that email? Why did I even respond to it? And so I get emails from people who say, Steve, I wrote you an email 2-3 weeks ago and you didn't respond. Well, there's a good chance that whatever you wrote didn't inspire me to respond. But there's also a good chance that 5 minutes before I got yours, I got one from somebody who said, Steve, you said Supreme Court rulings of 9-0 never happen, and they do. And here's the mathematical proof. So you're wrong. I was wrong? When did I say that? Well, you implied it. So you're saying my implication was wrong. And if I didn't state it explicitly and I implied it, that suggests that I watered it down, didn't I? Which would sound more like I suggested they were unusual but not impossible. Probably, yes, no? Handbrake? So there you go. And by the way, I did get someone asked me recently about how important the shirt sizes are. In the credits at the end of every video, it says, that is every video in the main channel, Steve wears a double XL. And that's true. And I've had people send me XLs. I've had people send me larges. I've had people send me mediums. They don't fit. They don't fit. I'm very, very sorry. But if they don't fit, I will not wear them on camera. And I've had someone send me a really, really cool shirt that was the wrong size. I actually went out and tried to find it. Turns out it was sold out. And I will actually buy my own version of that shirt, wear it on camera, and then mention it. But if the shirt is the wrong size, I can't wear it, and I apologize. But like this week, I got 6 or 7 new shirts. And thank you very much. And that's great, including several that were in response to videos. So I appreciate that greatly. But that's another week down on the vault. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.